everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be looking at 10 photographs that seem completely ordinary at first glance, but each of these images captures a moment just before something tragic, shocking, or life-changing happened. Some of the people in these photos had only seconds left to live, while others had no idea they were about to become part of an unforgettable story. So sit back and let's take a look at 10 haunting photographs taken moments before disaster struck. This photo was taken just moments before disaster struck. It captures what appears to be an ordinary day in the town of Oman. A father and his young son stand smiling beside a red car, completely unaware that it contains a powerful bomb. The image was recovered from a camera found in the rubble after the explosion, transforming a simple family photograph into one of the most haunting pictures ever taken. When the bomb detonated, it tore through a crowded shopping area filled with weekend visitors, families, and children preparing for the start of the school year. The blast killed 29 people and injured more than 200 others, leaving scenes that emergency workers later compared to a battlefield. What makes the photograph so unsettling is the knowledge that everyone captured within it was living their final moments without any indication of the tragedy that was about to unfold. On the second photograph, we see several bunk beds fill the space, and the people lying in them appear to be asleep. The room is tidy, the beds are neatly made, and nothing seems obviously wrong. But this image was taken inside the Heaven's Gate compound in California in March 1997. The figures resting beneath the dark blankets were not sleeping. They were among the 39 members of the Heaven's Gate cult who had died in a carefully planned mass suicide. Led by Marshall Applewhite, the group believed that an alien spacecraft hidden behind the Hale-Bopp comet would carry them to a higher existence. Convinced that their physical bodies were merely temporary vessels, they willingly ended their lives in the hope of reaching what they believed was the next stage of evolution. The calm appearance of the room stands in stark contrast to the tragedy it contains, making the photograph one of the most unsettling images ever associated with a cult. This is an 18-year-old girl stands near the edge of a cliff, taking in the view and enjoying a day outdoors. There is no sign of fear, no indication that anything is wrong. In fact, this would become the last known photograph of Jolie Callan. Just moments after the picture was taken, she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend, Lauren Shower. The relationship had been marked by jealousy and emotional manipulation, and although Jolie had recently ended it, she agreed to remain friends with him. When he invited her on a hike shortly before she was due to start a new chapter of her life, she accepted. According to investigators, Lauren pulled out a revolver and shot her twice in the back of the head before pushing her body over the cliff. In a chilling detail later revealed by her family, Jolie had sent a message to a friend only hours earlier saying, "If anything happens to me, you'll know who I was with." What makes the image so haunting is that it captures her final moments, completely unaware of the tragedy that was about to unfold. On this photo, we see two brothers smile at the camera while their hair stands straight up, giving them an appearance that seems more amusing than alarming. Taken during a hiking trip in California's Sierra Nevada mountains in 1975, their hair wasn't standing up because of the wind. It was a warning sign that the air around them had become dangerously charged with electricity. Realizing that a storm was approaching, the group began making their way down the mountain, but they didn't get far. Moments after the photograph was taken, lightning struck, knocking several members of the group to the ground. Both Michael and Sean McQuilkin survived, although Sean suffered severe burns. Today, the image is widely regarded as one of the most remarkable photographs ever taken before a lightning strike, capturing the final seconds before nature unleashed its full force. In 1979, German mountaineer Hannelore Schmatz became only the fourth woman in the world to reach the summit of Mount Everest, achieving a remarkable milestone in the history of climbing. While descending from the world's highest peak, Schmatz became increasingly weakened by exhaustion and freezing temperatures. Unable to continue, she died on the mountain, becoming the first woman to lose her life on Everest. Due to the extreme conditions and dangers involved in recovering bodies at such elevations, her remains were left on the mountain along the popular southern route. For years, climbers passed her frozen body sitting upright against her backpack more than 100 meters above Camp 4. Robert Overacker was a 39-year-old Californian who attempted to go over Niagara Falls on a jet ski on October 1st, 1995. The stunt was intended to raise awareness for homelessness and relied on a parachute to slow his descent after going over the falls. However, the parachute failed to save him, and Overacker fell approximately 180 feet into the river below. He died from the impact, becoming one of the many daredevils whose attempt to conquer Niagara Falls ended in tragedy. At first glance, this photograph looks like a typical vacation snapshot. A smiling couple stands together on a scenic mountain trail, pausing to capture the moment against the breathtaking backdrop of the countryside. Nothing about the image suggests that it would become their last photo together. On August 20th, 2022, Andrea Mazzetto and his girlfriend, Sarah Brigante, were hiking near Altanotto in northern Italy when the picture was taken. Shortly after this selfie was captured, he accidentally dropped his phone near the edge of a steep cliff. As he attempted to retrieve it, he lost his footing and plunged hundreds of feet into the ravine below. Rescue teams were dispatched to the scene, but it was too late to save him. In the days that followed, Sarah shared the photograph online, describing it as their cursed last photo together. Next photograph appears to show nothing more than a rocky hiking trail winding through the California wilderness. A hiker climbs across the boulders while sunlight filters through the trees, and there seems to be nothing unusual in the scene. But hidden among the rocks in the background is a tiny flash of red hair. That barely visible figure is 22-year-old Sailor Gilliams, who had been stranded in the canyon for more than a day after a hiking accident left her severely injured and unable to move. Her friend Brendan Vega had left to find help but tragically died after falling while attempting to climb out of the canyon. Alone, exhausted, and drifting in and out of consciousness, Gilliam spent hours calling for help before becoming too weak to continue. By sheer chance, a group of hikers passed through the area and unknowingly captured her in the background of their photographs. Only after noticing movement among the rocks did they realize someone was lying there. Their discovery led to an emergency rescue that ultimately saved her life. What makes the image so remarkable is how close she was to being overlooked entirely, her survival hinging on a tiny flash of red hair that caught a stranger's attention at exactly the right moment. Next photo is a selfie that captures a carefree moment between three teenage girls enjoying a beautiful autumn day in Utah's Spanish Fork Canyon. Smiling at the camera, they had spent the afternoon taking photos and exploring the mountain scenery together. What they didn't realize was that a deadly danger was already visible in the image. While the girls were focused on a train passing beside them, a second train was approaching from the opposite direction on a parallel track. Distracted by the noise, excitement, and wind created by the first train, they never noticed it coming. Seconds after the photo was taken, the train struck 15-year-old Essa Ricker, 15-year-old Kelsey Webster, and her 13-year-old sister, Savannah. Essa and Kelsey died instantly, while Savannah fought for her life in hospital for 3 days before succumbing to her injuries. Today, the photograph remains a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly an ordinary moment can turn into tragedy, with the approaching train's headlights still visible in the corner of the image as a warning the girls never saw. Today's last photo looks like an incredible display of athleticism. Suspended in midair above a city street, a young man appears to be effortlessly performing a backflip on the rooftop of a high-rise building. The teenager in the photo is Pavel Kashin, a 17-year-old parkour enthusiast from St. Petersburg, Russia, who had spent years practicing dangerous jumps and acrobatic tricks. On the day the picture was taken, Pavel and his friends climbed to the roof of a 16-story apartment building to film his latest stunt. As one of them raised a camera, Pavel launched into a backflip near the edge of the roof. But unlike countless attempts before it, this one ended in disaster. Moments later, he lost his balance and fell from the building. What makes the image so haunting is that it freezes the exact instant when everything still appears perfect, just seconds before a single misstep turned a routine trick into a fatal accident. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. See you in the next one.